Hello, and thank you for joining us for this Introducing the IMechE Archive webinar for History Day 2020. My name is Lucy, and I am the IMechE's archivist. For this introduction, I will run through who the Institution of Mechanical Engineers is and provide a summary of the sorts of material that might be found in our archive collections. I will then run a demonstration of our virtual archive and our online archive catalogue. I'll show you where you can find out more about some of the stories in our collections. And finally, I'll tell you how to get in touch with us with any inquiries or requests for access. So, who are we? The Institution of Mechanical Engineers is a membership organisation and learned society that represents mechanical engineers and the engineering profession. We were founded in 1847 in Birmingham, and today we have over 120,000 members in 140 countries. Our members work in industries including aeronautical, automotive, railways, biomedical engineering, construction, energy, and manufacturing. Mechanical engineering itself is all about movement. It is the application of science and technology to solve real-world problems through the manipulation of moving parts. So what is in our archive collection? Our collections are primarily physical. However, we have digitised a selection of our collections which are available to be viewed online. Our collections date from 1726 up to almost the current day. We hold the records of the institution itself, as well as of its merged bodies, the Institution of Locomotive Engineers and the Institution of Automobile Engineers. Our institution records are typical business records that record the key decision-making of the institution, such as our council minutes, and we also hold the historical membership proposal forms completed by individuals applying to become members. In addition, we also hold deposited collections which provide a perspective on the history of mechanical engineering and engineers, such as the personal papers of engineers themselves and the business records of engineering firms. And finally, we hold a collection of artefacts, which includes engineering models, artworks, and personal items. So I'm now going to demonstrate our virtual archive. Our virtual archive is our online portal for some of our digital collections. It features a selection of key objects, drawings, notebooks, documents, and photographs which showcase the history of the institution and the history of mechanical engineering. The virtual archive can be accessed either by going to the URL shown on the slide here, archives.imeche.org, or via the IMechE homepage. And I'm going to navigate from the IMechE homepage to show you how to get there now. From the IMechE homepage, which is imeche.org, choose Library and Archive from the top menu. This will take you to the Library and Archive homepage. If you scroll down, all of our archive information can be accessed from this middle column, Explore Our Archive and Artifacts. To get to the virtual archive from this column, select the digitised archive link beneath Browse Our Catalogues at the bottom of the column. This will take you to our virtual archive homepage, and from here you are able to both browse the collection and to run a more specific search. You will see that we have created 6 themed collections which can be browsed. These are artifacts and then 5 subject themed collections: automotive, engines, industrial, institution history and railways. So the first of these, artifacts, contains 2D and 3D images of some of the objects and personal items that we hold in our collections. If I click on artifacts, you will see that there are a number of sub-collections at the top of the page, and then individual items at the bottom of the page. If I click on one of these sub-collections, I'll choose Technical Drawing Instruments. You will find that there is some introductory text to the sub-collection, and then a collection of images beneath. And if we go back to the artifacts page, I just wish to quickly demo one of our 3D objects, and I'm going to choose James Naismith's steam hammer. So this is what the page for a 360-degree or 3D image looks like. On the left-hand side, you have the object itself, and on the right-hand side, you have some additional information about that object. And if you click on the start button at the bottom, it will start rotating for you, and you can stop rotating. You can choose to rotate a frame at a time. You can choose to have a look in full screen. So I'm going to go back to the Virtual Archive homepage, and I want to have a closer look at one of the subject themed galleries, and I'm going to choose railways. And again, you will see that there's a number of sub-collections at the top of the page, and then a number of individual items at the bottom of the page. And hopefully you'll see, as I've been scrolling through, that the material is a mixture of photographs and drawings. If we have a look at an example image, I'm going to choose something from the Great Indian Peninsula Railway. I'm going to choose Horsebox 665. You'll be able to learn more about that item. So again, on the right-hand side of the page, you have more information about that item. And on the left-hand side of the page, you have a thumbnail of the image, which you are able to click on to enlarge, and you can zoom in and move around and have a look. A key thing for me to point out here is that the information on the right-hand side of an item would include its archive reference. And that is an important thing for you to take note of if you wish to be in touch with us about this particular item, as it allows us to identify it. As well as browsing the virtual archive, you may also run a keyword search using one of the two Search Virtual Archive boxes, either in the middle of the screen or in the top right-hand corner. At this stage, I will mention that a keyword search will also search most of the text of our council minutes, which are available online. This can be particularly useful if you're interested in searching for an individual, as historically membership lists were published in our council minutes. If you are searching for an individual, it is worth entering both their first and second names. And I'll show you an example. I am going to search for Beatrice Naylor, who is often better known as Beatrice Schilling, who was an aeronautical engineer. You will see here that we have one search result, and the file title tells us it is a council minute from 1956. If you click on the link, you're given some information at the top about the council minutes, and at the bottom you have a page viewer which allows you to search the council minutes. We enter Beatrice Naylor into the search bar here. It will very handily highlight on the page where it has found Beatrice Naylor. And if we use this loop tool in the bottom left hand corner of the page viewer, we can highlight where it has found the entry. And here we can see Mrs. Beatrice Naylor, OBE MSc, and she has been made an associate member in the April 1956 council minutes. So along with the virtual archive, which is a collection of our digitised content, we also have our entire archive catalogue online available for you to search. You can navigate to the archive catalogue from the IMechE homepage. If you choose Library and Archive from the top menu, you'll be taken to our Library and Archive homepage. And if you scroll down to those three columns, to the middle, Explore Our Archive and Artifacts column, You will see that there is an archive catalogue link beneath Browse Our Catalogues right at the bottom left of that column. Before I click on this, I just wish to point out our PDF guide on how to search the online archive, which is available from the How to Search the Catalogue link. I'd recommend a read of this if you're new to using our online catalogue, as it gives you some tips on how to make the most of your searches. So if I go back and click on Archive Catalogue, you'll be taken to the Archive Catalogue homepage. Our online archive catalogue contains descriptions of all of our catalogued archive material. The idea is that you can use it to identify material which may be of interest to you. Generally, it does not include word-for-word transcriptions of documents. However, many of our records do have images attached, and many of these images are not available through the virtual archive. There are, of course, many items for which we do not hold a digital image, and access to these is best achieved by getting in touch with us in the first instance. Once you are at the online catalogue, there are two ways to search. In the top right-hand corner of the catalogue is a Google-style search bar where you can perform a simple search. And in this left-hand column, the fourth option down, there is an advanced search button. The simple search will only search the title and description fields of a catalogue entry. So it is useful if you're looking for a name, a place, a firm, or a part, but it is worth bearing in mind that it may miss some things as a result. The advanced search on the left-hand side allows you to search across more fields, search via a reference number, and generally perform more sophisticated searches. So let's say you're interested in a jet pipe. We'll run a simple search for jet pipe. Your search results will first be presented like this on a search results page. This is a summary of the results of your search. The useful thing to know here is that you are able to click on the underlined reference number to see more information about that record. And I'm going to choose this bearing support. So when you click on an underlined reference for more information, you're taken to the record page. The top part of the page shows where the record sits in our archival hierarchy. Our archives, like many others, are catalogued hierarchically, which means that they work a little like a family tree. This part of the page reflects that hierarchy. We can see that this record, bearing support, sits within a collection of technical design sketches, which sits within material about the Gazelle engine, which sits under the D. Napier and Son collection as a whole. And then the main part of the page provides more information about this record itself. If there is an image attached to the record, it will provide a thumbnail, which you may click on to make larger. There are a few things to note here, particularly if you wish to access this material. The first is extent, which here is one item, but this may say something like 43 volumes, for example. And it's useful to know exactly how much material this description is describing. And the other thing to note is access status, which here shows digital, but it may also say something along the lines of restricted access, or it may just say open. Where it says digital, it means that we will have a high resolution digital surrogate, which we would use to provide access rather than to the original. And this is for preservation reasons. There is less risk of us damaging the original through retrieving it. I just wish to point you in the direction of some of the places where you can learn more about some of the stories within our collection. So if we head back to IMechE.org and we'll go to the Library and Archive homepage and we'll scroll down to that middle column, and this time we'll click on Explore our archive and artifacts. So from here you can choose to visit our Library and Archive blog, which is where we share posts on items from both the library and archive collections, new resources and tools, and we share some of what we do behind the scenes. You may also choose to visit our Engineers at War online exhibition, which uses our archive collections and the collections of the Institution of Civil Engineers and the Institution of Engineering and Technology to highlight contributions made by engineers during both World Wars. Or you can choose to visit our collection of membership forms, which are available through ancestry.com. And to do this, if you click on Find Out About the Archive and scroll down, and you'll be taken to a Discover Ancestry link where you can search our collections. If you're an IMechE member, then you will be able to access the collections free of charge. And if you're a non-member, you'll be able to perform a basic search free of charge. Thank you very much for choosing to join our introduction to the IMechE Archive. Please do feel free to be in touch with us if we can be of assistance to you. That might be through identifying archive material, inquiring about how to access material, which I think is particularly important at the moment due to changing COVID-19 restrictions, or if you have an inquiry about using our archive material. Our contact details are on this final slide. You may email us archive@imeche.org or call us on 0207 973 1265. Thank you very much and best of luck with your research.